Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another manga chapter review. I am the Rat, and this is The Rat's Nest. I'm joined, as always, by Kyle. Say hi, Kyle.
I couldn't think of anything funny to say. I was going to make fun of Asa for being a femcel. How's everyone doing? Hi.
That's so true. We're back with Chainsaw Man, chapter 121. What's this one called?
Theory of Happiness.
Theory of Happiness. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a good chapter title.
Very good chapter.
Yeah, definitely. So, this was a good chapter. Yeah, I was about to get right into it. I'll let you call it. I guess we can. We can go on and get right into it.
Yeah, let's get right into it, shall we?
Yeah, what you call it. Let's talk about it. It's been a long day. So we're picking up where we left off last time, right? Where Josh was like, "Okay, Ashley, I need to talk to you after school," right? And so everyone is spending the entire week freaking out, like, "Oh my gosh, Josh is about to cuck Dennis."
His gay ass did not get sent into the sun.
His gay ass did not get sent to the sun. That's so true. So we start off and we get Josh saying, "Here's your coffee." Give some coffee to Ashley, right? They're in the Devil Hunter Club student council office. That's right. I forgot that they're the same because Iseumi is the is the president and the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so then Ashley goes, "Are you sure we can drink this? Isn't it the Devil Hunter Club?" Oh yeah, and on the couch there's the marketable Chainsaw Man plush.
Dennis Jr.
That's so true. Yeah, so isn't this the Devil Hunters Club? And then Josh goes, "I don't see why not. You're technically a member." And then, yes, that's true. We see, is that Ashley blushing a little bit? Josh is such a Riz Lord, bro.
Josh is cooking here.
So we get hit a woman, Josh, the guy who rejected me when he randomly asked me out. Hirofumi, hit on men, Josh. That's his name. Hit on men, Josh.
The guy
rejected me when Yoda randomly asked him out. He's with Dennis a lot. They say he's a public safety hunter.
He is Dennis a lot.
Public safety devil hunter despite being in high school. He must be busy. Why spend his time on a loner like me? I wonder why, Ashley. The time. And she's still thinking. Could it be he started noticing me after I asked him out?
Oh, man.
Ashley's never beating the allegations, bro. She's never gonna do it.
Yeah,
what if that's her character arc? At the end of part 2, she beats the allegations.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. It's just I don't see how she could, in theory, do so.
You think Josh is gonna be the protagonist of part 3?
He doesn't really fit the protagonist vibe. I mean, he's like a supporting main character right now, but he doesn't really fit like Dennis or Asa, who both are struggling for happiness and trying to attain it in different ways by having weird devil encounters. So yeah, I don't think so, but it would be interesting.
It'd be funny if it was.
Yeah, Josh asks her, "What were you mumbling by the school gates?" And she, that life is easier on your own. That's what she responds with. And then he says, I question why you'd think that out loud. I more or less agree, though. And then we get the funny page. So here, I can explain what he says. He says, "It's probably easier to get by living with another person, one thing leading to another, but there's no guarantee you'll build a permanently mutually agreeable relationship. These days, with books and TV, you can have one-sided parasocial relationships. The solitary life is less risky." And then she goes, "Yeah, he's affirming my values. He does like me. Oh my gosh."
That's so true. That's so true. Dude, she is never going to beat the allegations, bro. She's never beating the allegations.
Fujimoto crafted like the perfect "she's just like me for real" character.
Bro, Faulty Water knows what he's doing.
Faulty Water. Yeah, he knows. This is such a sad thing to see. Like, memeing aside, like, we've seen this a lot with Asa acting. I'm gonna say it like a femcel. So, in this chapter titled "Theory of Happiness," it comes back later, so we could. Here, I'll stop what I want to say for now, and then we can talk about it in a moment.
Yeah.
And then she does like me.
So going on to the next page, we get funny Josh, man. "I'm glad we're on the same page." And then he says, "There's something I wanted to tell you for a while now." And Ashley's blushing. Like, the thing is, I want you to stay away from Dennis. And Ashley's just like, huh? Going on to the next page. He goes, why? He goes like, I'd rather not say. You can interpret it however you'd like. I'm glad we had this chat. Have a good one.
No,
gay flag.
He says, he says flag.
So true. Oh my gosh. I hope I remember to edit that in.
I'll remind you too. Yeah, no, this was a really funny twist because everyone thought like, oh, he's gonna like seduce her or something. No, this was the optimal route for him to go to keep his boyfriend.
Honest, dude. Bro, talking about Austin never beating the femcel allegations, right? Can we talk about Josh never beating the yaoi allegations?
He's never gonna beat them with the yaoi devil.
Never beating the yaoi devil accusations, bro.
I mean, to be fair, he calls it the octopus devil or whatever. It could just be the yaoi devil. We don't know.
I don't know.
As far as we know, the yaoi devil. And then after that, next page. So this is interesting. We get Nayuta, and Nayuta says, "I smell something nasty. It's the nastiest devil scent I've ever smelled." And then she slaps Dennis's ass and says, "Go, go, Chainsaw Man. It's devil hunting time."
To be fair, if I was next to Dennis, I'd slap his ass too. Nayuta ain't wrong for that. Yeah, anyways. You get Dennis and he's got the dogs around him, right? They're chilling. He's like, man, I don't feel like being Chainsaw Man anymore. And I just like, what? No way. Why not? And Dennis is like, because if everyone finds out I'm him and all the ladies want me, you're going to block me anyways. The cock block, that's confirmed. Canonically, Dennis got cock blocked. And Nayuta's like, no way. I want to watch you fight. I want to watch. So it's interesting. So Nayuta still has that obsession with Chainsaw Man, right? But albeit differently from how Makima had it. But it's very interesting how that carried over.
You could argue a bit healthier.
Yeah. And is it, that's the question of, is it an obsession with, is it a wanting to watch Chainsaw Man? Or is it like a more personal thing of Nayuta wants to watch Dennis look cool?
Yeah. Potentially. So here, let's talk about some of this for a sec, starting with what she said at the beginning of, it's the nastiest devil scent I've ever smelled. And I just want to keep that in mind for later, because this, we have some potential theory crafting.
And we'll talk about it, but this is one of the reasons why I think it could be the Death Devil.
Yeah, and then with what you said of, I want to watch you fight, I want to watch you fight. I mean, she's basically flat out saying, like, I want to watch you fight. It'd be different if she said, I want to watch Chainsaw Man fight. Like
but she calls him Chainsaw Man earlier. Like playfully, sure.
Yeah.
But like, still, it's the thing where she's like, "Go, go, Chainsaw Man! It's devil hunting time. No way, I want to watch you fight. I want to watch." So like, I assume that it's playful, but like,
Yeah, I think it's more so just being playful, because unlike Makima, where Makima never saw Dennis and only saw Chainsaw Man, like, she sees Dennis.
Yeah, definitely. That's pretty undebatable.
Yeah. And so I think it's more so just being like, come on, Chainsaw Man, go do your thing. And then he's like, am I going to be single for life? And then she says, like, if you turn into Chainsaw Man, lots of people will like you. You could get way more love that way than from a girlfriend. Doesn't that sound super awesome? And then we get the iconic Fuji, or what is it, faulty water? Yeah.
Yeah, Fiji water, faulty motor, finger mongoose.
We get the classic, hang on, let me think it over, with the repeating panels.
Also the classic Dennis stare. that iconic Dennis stare.
And then he goes, hell yeah. And then after that, we cut back to Asa's perspective. And this is when...
Literally, dude, so like, I just noticed this. You know the memes of like the Virgin and the Chad?
Yeah.
Like, she looks exactly like the Virgin in this panel. like it's uncanny.
Holy shit!
I mean, like. Bro, what did Fiji water mean by this one, bro? What did he mean by this one?
She's just like slouched at like the perfect angle with her head down low.
Oh my gosh.
I was about to say something super nice, like this is like a really sad section, but you made it really
I mean, she looks exactly like it.
Okay, we're gonna move on from that.
Okay, yeah. So going on to the next panel, Asa's looking a little soulless, right?
A little
yeah.
You know.
I'm quick to convince myself someone likes me. Then when I'm wrong, my feelings get hurt. A life of solitude really would be better than feelings like this. And then Yoru's like, you might be right. And Asa's like, there's nothing even good about me. Who am I even living for? I only care about myself. Whenever I get lonely, I crave companionship. How arrogant is that? And then we get Yoru with her iconic line, I know you're arrogant, Asa, but me thinks you're being a little too down on yourself. Asa's like, I'm just tired. Tired of my inability to maintain a lasting relationship with another human being. Maybe I'd be better off dead.
And then
someone jumps off the roof.
And then
Yoru takes over. Something's wrong, Asa. Something's wrong, Asa. Stay back. Going, and then we see the panel of everyone looking down at Asa with a very mysterious figure dressed in black standing above Asa. Could potentially be nothing, but
wait, hang on. Where are you looking?
Like, so look at the third row up, like in the middle, the girl in black.
Oh, might be, isn't. I don't know.
I think that's the Death Devil. But so that's the chapter. So let's talk about it. Right there was a lot. There's a lot we went over there just to finish up the section.
Yeah.
Right?
So
starting off with it.
I was gonna say, to tie into like the chapter title, I like how both of these characters are sort of an exploration of like different routes that people take for happiness. Because the full chapter title is, let me see, Theory of Happiness, and it's how both of these characters are dealing with just very like wanting to be loved, wanting to be recognized, wanting admiration. It's a very natural human thing, and we see how each of these characters are handling it like after a heartbreak. Specifically Asa going through like two by making one up for herself.
That's so true.
Yeah, because in Dennis's case, right, like he said is like, I don't want to be Chainsaw Man. The depression devil hit kind of hard here. I was like, you're gonna block me, he's being negative, and then she makes the. Also, one thing I wanted to point out, isn't it kind of funny, because I saw this on Twitter, I think you sent this to me, it's funny how the two characters that are reaffirming like the two main characters are the ones that caused them to basically like be split in the first place, because it was Yoru's decision making and Nayuta's reaction that like is why they're split apart. And it's, Nayuta's like, oh, it's okay, you'll be loved just as long as it's under guidelines I set. And Yoru's kind of being like, oh, it's okay, you'll pick yourself up, femcel.
That's so true.
Yeah, because then what she says is, lots of people like you. You could get way more love than that than just from like a girlfriend. And that's how awesome. And then he does the iconic 1,000-yard stare and then goes, hell yeah, and he gets motivated. And then we see the opposite. And I like this chapter with just exploring Asa's just head case on just because it's a very real thing. Like just the lines of, I'm quick to convince myself someone likes me, then when I'm wrong, I'm feeling her. Like that's a very natural human thing that people do, and it's very sad to see that. And I like how Fujimoto explores it in this chapter.
Yeah, for all the funny jokes about femcel, right? I think Asa's written very realistically, and like in such a way that like, and this is very, impressive, where like she just like is relatable to like anyone. Like she's written so realistically. Like it's incredibly impressive. Fujimoto's always been good at character writing, but I think that Asa is panning out to be just one of the best characters, if not the best character he's ever written. Yeah,
I have to see where art goes, but just right now, because then, right whenever, let me see. So it's on page 13 I'm looking at. 13 out of 16 is what it says. I only care about myself, yet whenever I get lonely, I crave companionship. And like, a lot of people do that. Like, they look out for themselves, and then it's like, oh, the moment that they get lonely, then it's like, I need people. That's how it works.
Yeah, and it's that feeling of not wanting to be around people, then realizing that you're not around people, and then being like, I need to be around people, but like I don't like that. I don't like that. Why then do I have this feeling of like I'm missing out whenever I don't have that?
It is a cycle, like how devils in this world are a cycle. You got the cycle of I want to be alone, I want companionship. I want to be alone, I want companionship. Maybe I should just listen to music on that one, but that's one of my thoughts.
Yeah, no, Asa is an incredible character. I think that Fujimoto, we're going to use his real name there, because this is the more serious section of the chapter review, is she's showing off his writing chops. Asa in this one chapter, I think, is better character writing than most, if not all, of Fire Punch.
Yeah.
To a degree, I will say. But yeah.
But like, where she, repeating panels also is another thing I want to bring up here, because like you get that again. Other than Yoru's basically kind of stupid dumbass comment of "me thinks you're being a little too down on yourself," like that aside, like just very good section here. And you're saying, I'm just tired of my inability to maintain lasting relationships with other human beings. Maybe I'm better off dead. And then boom, weird shit starts happening around her. But like before all like the weird shit, focus on character writing. It sucks because it's very realistic. This is what a lot of people go through, where they build up these like relationships in their head, and then whenever they don't pan out, it's just like they beat up on themselves, and it sucks. And I'm happy that Fujimoto's tackling a topic like this in his manga. There's a lot of people look at manga as like haha funny stuff, but like it can get very serious at times and tackle a lot of real issues, and I enjoy it whenever authors do it with care, like how Fujimoto is doing right now.
I think it's also really potent whenever you look at Ashley's character, because think about her relationships, right? Can't remember her dad, or if her dad was ever mentioned, but her mom died in the Typhoon Devil attack, right? And she kind of died because of Asa. And then you have, what's another character that she reached out to? She killed Bucky. She didn't feel bad about killing Bucky.
Well, she had like her friends at school.
She didn't have friends at school though.
Sorry.
She got bullied. Yeah.
Sorry, I thought like they.
But you have Yuko, right? That's a character that we've seen Asa become really good friends with, and then lol, funny Justice Devil arc, lol.
Yeah. After that,
and then you have Dennis, that she got close to, right? And then he stood her up in her mind. And then you have, she's probably at a pretty low point at this time, right? She was, just stood up on a date. She gets invited over by Josh, right, to the Devil Club Hunter room. As funny much of a meme as it is for her to be like, oh my gosh, she really does like me. Like, she's at a pretty low point mentally. I don't think it's very realistic the way that she was written to latch onto that. Whenever we see that she's very obviously depressed over the fact last chapter that Dennis stood her up, and then we get to see more continuing of that depression to the point that Yoru has to cheer her up, or try to, with the funny "me thinks" line.
Having to cheer her up, and isn't that always how it happens though? Sometimes where like, when you're at your lowest and you're like, oh, maybe I'm catching a break, and then you just get gut punched again. Like that is real. That is a very real thing to happen. The abnormal thing would have been like, oh, do you want to date me, Asa? Like that would have been like a dream come true. That would have been too perfect. And I like how Fujimoto went with the realism of like, stay away from my boyfriend, Asa, and then he leaves.
Yeah. So good character writing. Ashley still never beating the femcel allegations, by the way.
Yeah, and then it ends.
So I really like this little thing on the bottom of the page before the guy jumps off. She says, maybe I'd be better off dead. And that speech bubble covers her face. I think that's very intentional. I like that little detail. I noticed that whenever I first read the chapter. I was like, that's neat. I was like, what does that mean? And then we start getting the guy jumping to his death. Yoru takes over.
That is definitely intentional right there. I would. And then he jumps off, and then something's wrong. I'll stay back. Then we get boom, the reveal of all the people standing around outside. And my thought on this was, and it makes sense. What if for the Death Devil's entrance, a bunch of people in the surrounding area had to die, and then it manifests because it manifests off the death itself? I think that'd be awesome. So now, big theory time. Is it Death Devil? Yes or no?
You see, on one hand, I think that I would save Death Devil for later. On the other hand, it's Fiji water, and all the signs are pointing towards it being Death Devil.
And then on the other hand, it makes sense, and that's why it might not be, because it makes too much sense. And we know Faulty Motor, it doesn't like going down that route. He likes being unpredictable.
Sometimes he is predictable. At least sometimes we've gotten better at it, Kyle. We've gotten better at reading him.
We have. And this might be, if anything, right? Like, I don't see it being some big gun devil like end of part one thing where like the world starts concaving into itself, or like the world starts like breaking. Just if it were like a Death Devil thing, it would probably be like Death Devil showing up to talk to War Devil. Like, that's my theory. If it were, I could see this being something else. I don't see it being Death Devil, but if it is, it makes sense. And if not, it also makes sense that he would try to change things up. I can't get a read. It's Death Devil or something else is gonna happen.
I mean, it's Ashley, right? Or not Ashley. There's a couple different things that make me think it's War Devil or Death Devil, right? One, there's Nayuta, and Nayuta saying, "This is the worst devil I've ever smelled. This is the worst smelling devil I've ever smelled."
And
we know that Nayuta has smelled war, at least another one of the Four Horsemen.
Yeah, so like
we don't know about Famine, but I don't think this was Fam. Fami's already showed herself. Fami would just come out and say hi, right?
Yeah.
So I think the fact that this is Nayuta saying this is the worst devil I've ever smelled is a hint that something bad is coming. Well, I also think there's obviously the emphasis of last arc, the Aquarium arc. Josh dropped the name the Death Devil.
That's
right?
True.
It was an intentional drop by Fujimoto, I feel, to get the Death Devil in the minds of the people. Now, could they do that as a red herring? Sure, he's Fujimoto. He can do what he wants, right? But you also have, before this introduction of the devil, there's that emphasis on that one panel, maybe I'd be better off dead.
Dead, covering her face, and then the body start dropping, or the body.
Yeah. So, like, that's the thing. Where it's like, there's the emphasis there, right? And then, boom, someone dies. There's an emphasis on death at the end of this chapter. And then you have everyone looking down from the balconies onto Ashley, right?
Ash.
Yeah, I was about to say Ashley.
Now, here's the other part of the theory. I was going to say, we're on a 2-week break, so that means he's cooking, therefore it could be.
That means, I really feel like that means we're getting
something huge, something big.
Some action scenes.
Some big stuff happening, yes.
But yeah, sucks that there's a 2-week break.
Yeah. But I think that's all that I have to say. I don't know about you, but those are kind of my thoughts on the chapter. I'm excited to see where we go next. And yeah, if it is that double, hey, that'd be awesome. Like I'm not doubting it because I don't want it to be. If it was, that'd be cool. And I'm excited to see the route that it go down on. But if not, we'll just have to see what Faulty Motor has in store for us.
I mean, like, I think it's probably Death Devil.
Probably.
But at the same time, I almost wish it weren't, because I want the Death Devil to have a bigger introduction.
Well, we don't know what'll happen next chapter, right?
That's true. Know. I just, like, because you think Gun Devil, right? Gun Devil had, like, Darkness Devil had the most insane introduction.
Yeah, Darkness.
I just feel like Death Devil should have something similar. Because, like, it's the Death Devil.
I agree. Darkness and Gun Devil are probably the two like best devil introductions so far. Darkness Devil easy, right? Like the funny.
Just one of the most iconic panels in manga.
It's like, yeah, in manga of all the astronauts just like praying, and then it emerging from the darkness only to rip off all their arms. Like that's fucking nuts. And I wanted something like that with Death Devil too. But then again, on the other hand, it's like it's death. It's you know like okay, what I'm trying to get at is, or like I'm thinking Supernatural, right? Do you mind if I bring up something from Supernatural real quick?
Sure.
Right, like in Supernatural, here the Death is a character that exists, and Death's character introduction is he's walking down the streets of like Chicago or something. Like a giant storm's gonna come kill a bunch of people, whatever. And he's like walking, like, you know, hat and cane. He bumps into a guy, and then the guy falls over dead. And it's like, that's his introduction. It plays like a song in the background. And it's like, Gun Devil and Darkness Devil could get pretty nuts in what they did because they're like over the top. But like for Death Devil, it is simply the act of not being alive. And I don't think you could get any more in like, I mean, you could in theory, but like if everyone around her started like jumping off the building, committing suicide, like I think that would be a perfectly reasonable introduction for the Death Devil.
Yeah, I mean,
'Cause-
Death Devil is in an interesting position, right?
Yeah.
Where we think of the horsemen, right? You have control, famine, and war that we've already met. Like, it would make sense for those three not to be primal fears. All three of those are learned fears, I would think.
Yeah, and then but death
Maybe famine, but I think that we've seen that these are three horsemen, right? They're strong, and they're stronger than the typical devil, but they're not primal fears.
no,
Like death is that thing where, like, I really feel like death would be a primal fear.
Yeah, if it's a horseman, that'd be weird. I mean, like, if
Death is gonna be both, right?
Yeah, it kind of has to be.
But it's like, I don't know, because we still don't know what happened to the horsemen originally that sent them to Earth. Like, what killed them in hell? Theoretically, it was Chainsaw Man, right?
Yeah,
But we don't know for certain.
We'll just have to. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, if this is the Death Devil, sweet. If it's not, cool. It'll be interesting to see what it is. But it'll be good to see. I'm looking forward to it. Whatever it is in 2 weeks. Woohoo! 2 weeks.
Hey, you know what that means? In 2 weeks, we'll be closer to the JoJo lands as well.
I was gonna say 2 weeks is small in comparison to the wait for JoJo lands.
2 months is gonna hit different.
That's true. All right. Well, have you said everything, Kyle? Any final words?
Said my piece.
All right. Well, if you're this far in the video, then obviously there's something you like. So make sure to like and subscribe, and leave a comment saying Ashley is never beating the allegations. That's so true, isn't it? Coming up this Sunday, One Piece. Coming up this Friday, One Piece as well. Maybe, I don't know. We're behind a chapter because I've been incredibly busy with school, and just didn't get the chance to record this last one. But we'll get caught up at some point, and so look forward to that. And the next Wednesday will be something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So we will see you then. And goodbye.
Bye.